Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News. This is a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. With that being said, obviously I'm on the other side of the screen this week because I realized that the green screen works way better. The lighting is much better with my setup if I just move over a little bit. So we're going to be over here from now on unless this sucks. With that being said, let's get into the news. The first thing I want to do this week is highlight some of the contests and jams that are going on for kids in BMX coming up. The first one is next weekend, so next Saturday, April 13th. It's at the Wheel Mill and it's their Next Generation Jam where it's all about the kids. And something super awesome was announced today, and that is that a winner at this jam is going to win a Flow sponsorship for a year from Sabrosa and Shadow. A whole year, and it looks like, judging by the picture, they're getting an entire bike from this. Like, everything is here. Grips, sprocket, bars, stem, another sprocket, some more grips, forks, frame, back hub, seat posts, tires, front hub, cranks, a seat, a chain. Everything is there other than the headset, but I'm sure that that's going to be included too. I don't know if it's all going to one person or multiple people, but I'm assuming that that's involved, and that is super awesome because they only do stuff for the kids at this jam. And I'm debating between going to this and another contest that's going on at Ohio Dreams, which is a lot closer for me, but this jam is super awesome. I've been to it before, so it's going to be a hard decision. Let me know what I should do in the comments down below. And then after that, there's another contest specifically for kids. This one involves multiple contests, and this is the Hot Wheels Junior Series coming back for 2019. And there is 5 stops of this. It's sponsored by Hot Wheels, and it says built by Woodward on here. And the tour dates for this one are Huntington Beach, California, April 5th through 7th. So that is going on right now. It's April 5th. Then we've got Phoenix, Arizona, which is going down May 10th through 12th, followed by Rye, New Hampshire, going down June 7th through 9th. Then Woodward, Tahoe in California, August 23rd through 25th. And then the last one is Woodward, PA, which is September 27th through 29th. 5 different stops, all for kids 16 and under, and it's all around the country. So I mean, the only people who are going to be able to make it to all of these are the people who can travel kind of with it and can afford it. But I think the point is to travel the entire country, hitting all of these different places to get all of the kids from those places to participate in a contest where there's really nothing for kids in BMX other than jams like this one and the Next Generation Jam. And the Battle for the Midwest also has a kids or beginners category. So it's just awesome to see all of this stuff going on for kids specifically in BMX because, as the title of the Wheel Mill Jam says, they are the next generation, and they're what's going to be coming up, and they're going to be the pros of the future. So we gotta do stuff for them to keep them psyched on BMX. And that's why I wanted to talk about this first, make it the title of the video, and all of that, just because I feel like it's extremely important, and I have a small platform to talk in for this, and I wanted to make sure I hit it. And with that, let's move into talking about the obvious for this week, because unless you live under a rock, you know that Swampfest went down last weekend and that it was completely and total utter insanity. There's tons of videos out there from Swampfest, so I'm gonna talk about the ones that I feel like are the best. First, we've got Swampfest with Aaron Ross from Odyssey. This one just has Aaron walking around with a microphone, talking to a bunch of people, just random people, pros, people you may have heard of, and it's just amazing. This is the video that I would recommend watching if you're only going to watch one video from Swampfest. Then we had a couple videos from OurBMX. We had Day 0, then we had highlights from all of the contests or jams, whatever you want to call it, that were at Swampfest. Then we had a video from RideUK called Pure Chaos, Swampfest 2019. Then we had Power's Bike Shop Swampfest highlights, followed by Cult Crew Does Swampfest. And that's the last video I wanted to mention today. I really don't have to say much about Swampfest, and I feel like everything is just cramming Swampfest stuff down your throat because there was just that much of it, and it was that crazy and awesome of an event. The cops ended up being there like most of the day, judging from the videos I watched, and then fire trucks showed up and put out the fire, and it seemed like everything was okay. And then at the end of one of the videos I watched, they were talking to Trey Jones and they asked if he was going to do it again next year, and he said yes. So hopefully we will have something to look forward to next year, and I am going to Swampfest next year, 100% hands down. And with that, let's stop talking about Swampfest and start talking about how lame this year's April Fool's BMX jokes were. There really weren't that many of them, and the only one that I saw from a big name BMX company was FBM making it look like they were going to have their own postage stamp, which honestly was something that I believed whenever I read it because it seems possible, I guess. And the stamp was something that I could see being on a stamp, so that was the only BMX April Fool's joke that I saw. Normally Sabrosa does something, a few other people, but I think because Swampfest, there we go talking about it again, I think because the event that shall not be named for the rest of this video went down the weekend before April Fool's, it kind of just got thrown under the rug, and it seems like it's one of those things where they think about it the week before, make something happen, and then it comes out for April Fool's. Hopefully next year they'll do better, because I always enjoy that, and I think that other people probably do too. So then after that, we've got some sponsorship news to talk about. The first thing here is a quick video welcoming Adler, Cromer to Demolition's Flow team. It features a few people, Kevin Peraza, Chris Fox, and Matt Cordova, talking about him and just saying why he's a good fit for the Demolition team. It was kind of interesting to see Kevin Peraza talking in a Demolition video. I don't know if that means anything, but I don't want to read too far into it. Either way though, they had nothing but good things to say, and then there were some riding clips with him after the fact that showed he is very well deserving in that last 540 over the box jump backwards, I think it was just total insanity, especially from someone as young as this kid looks. And after that, we had the news that Jacob Bailey is now on Colony, and it came with a quick bike check, which is basically just showing that he has a bike that is totally made of Colony parts now. There really wasn't much else to come with that. We had one other contest and jam thing to talk about this week, and that is a Mongoose jam that is going down at Source Park May 18th. There's a bunch of the Mongoose team that's going to be there. Kevin Peraza, Pat Casey, Ben Wallace, Cam Peak, Nikita DeCaros, and Greg Illingworth, who's already over there. And then from there, we can move into the videos from this week. There really weren't that many, and I suspect it has to do with the event that shall not be named for the rest of this video. The first is a video that I made that I want to talk about because it features another young shredder, and I think that it deserves to be seen. It has nothing to do with me. I just want everyone to see how much of a shredder Owen is. And it's a video I made of Owen Meyer at Ray's mountain bike park. It's starting a series called Ohio Rider Spotlight, where I'm just going to be talking with people from Ohio and kind of showing you guys who they are, and just showing that Ohio has a lot of shredders that really not that many people know about. So if you want to check it out, there will be a link in the description below. This is the first one in the series, and there's more coming soon. I'm actually filming one of them tonight, so check it out if you want to, and there will also be links to everything that I've talked about and will talk about in the order that it was talked about in the description below. After that, we've got 24 hours in Japan with Colin Varanyak. It's 24 hours in Japan with Colin Varanyak, and he made an edit of it. It's 2 minutes 2 seconds long and full of hammers that he got in only 24 hours. Definitely a crazy one, and it's only got 1,500 views right now. I don't know how, because it's extremely good. Other than the music, I kind of didn't really like the song at all. Sorry. Are you bored of mainstream BMX in 2019? Are you sick of seeing grind after grind and ledge after ledge? If so, I've got the cure for you. It's a Rob Darden video from 2014 in this week's history lesson from Vital BMX. This video is everything. Street, park, trails. Okay, maybe it's not vert, but he does enough skate park crazy tricks and trails and just all of it that you need to watch this video, especially if you're getting a little bored with mainstream BMX in 2019. There are so many amazing clips in this video, and seeing someone like Rob Darden ride like this just kind of gets me pumped to go and ride race tonight and film some stuff. And he definitely gave me a few ideas, and I just want to point out the one clip I want to talk about in this is the sprocket double bar spin to fakie on like a rail out of a bank. He didn't use his foot, he was locked in there and just through the bars, and it was amazing. And that's the last video I want to talk about this week. We've got 2 bike checks. The first one's kind of not really a bike check, it's just a flip book of pictures of Brandon Began that they called the Brandon Began birthday bike check. With a name like that, why wouldn't you call it that? And then we've got a video bike check from Ezekiel Murphy from Volume. So then that brings us into the product news from this week. The first thing here is a preview of the 2020 completes from Kink. Yeah, 2020 bikes. This just kind of shows you how far in advance companies are planning these things and know about these things, because all of the bikes at the link in the description below have all of the details for what's going to go on them, and they're for 2020 already, and it's barely April of 2019. So if you're interested, check those out. It seems to be that the Kink whip is still the bottom line that I would recommend purchasing, with full chromoly everything, sealed bearings all around, even in the front and rear hub, as well as double wall rims in the front and the rear, which is literally everything that I would ever recommend someone look for in buying a brand new complete bike. But if you're interested in any of the other ones, you know where to find it. After that is a video from Fit called Key to the Cage, or it's in their Key to the Cage series, this time with Ethan Corrier, and he's building his complete bike, but he's not building it for himself, he's building it for someone who subscribes to Fit's YouTube channel as well as comments on the video, so you have a chance at winning it if you want to check that out. Then Garrett Reynolds' signature rim from Cinema is now available. It's $74.99 and it comes in the bronze that you're seeing now, as well as red, polished, and black. There's a few more details about it, so if you want to check those out, once again, you know where to find them. Then the last product news this week is that there are 3 new colorways in the Odyssey Twisted Pro pedals. There's a hot pink, there's a toothpaste, and then there's a lavender toothpaste swirl that I like to call gel pen. And that brings us into the interviews section from this week. The first one here is a Brock Rayford Unclick podcast with Dennis Enerson. I've listened to most of this one so far, and so far it's definitely one that I would recommend. Then we've got a commentary from Jacob Cable on his new Technically Speaking video that came out a week or 2 ago from Odyssey. He basically just runs through the entire video talking about the clips and gives you a little bit behind the scenes of what was going on and what happened while he was filming. After that is another Space Brothers podcast, this time with Mark Mulville, which I'm very much looking forward to listening to, followed by another podcast. This is the Poliver podcast, which is how you say it now that I've listened to it and heard Doyle say it. This time he's talking with Daryl Taco, and it's in video form, so I've got a link to that in the description below. I listened to this one yesterday and it was really awesome to listen to. It honestly only felt like 10 minutes long, but even wanting like an hour more of this one, what was there was fantastic. And it's always good to hear from people that you might not have otherwise heard from if someone such as Doyle didn't make this podcast. Then after that, the last thing that I have to talk about this week is another rollback podcast. This time it's with Ryan Mills, and it's a second edition with Ryan Mills because they had previously done one before. Haven't listened to this one yet, but I'm sure if you do, you will enjoy it. And I think that's it for the news this week, and it looks like that is so. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out and listening to the news here. Leave a comment about your favorite news thing or any opinions on anything we talked about. Let's talk about how sick it is that there's contests and jams specifically for younger kids in BMX, or anything else that you guys want to talk about. Either way, that's going to do it for this week's video. Subscribe if you're new. I come out with this BMX news video every Friday, I don't say that anymore. Every Friday, come out with this news video, as well as tips and tricks videos on Tuesdays and other types of riding videos throughout the week. Let me know if you're part of the 20% crew that makes it to the end of this one, and we'll see you tomorrow for another video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. I missed.